mind walk outside.
Call this meeting to order together. We'll start with the undersheriff for roll call.
Jim Anderson for Sheriff Tommy Johnson.
Rick Warren, court clerk.
Harry Bloomer.
Ryan Mon.
Miles Davidson.
Butch Freeman.
Larry Stein.
All right. How about our brand new commissioner lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh.
I'm not brand new anymore. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you. You did a good job. Is there approval of the minutes for December 15th?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any individual consideration on the consent docket?
If I can find the consent docket, I can let you know.
I've got the old-fashioned paper. It works so well.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, that was the minutes. Okay, now the consent docket.
Where am I? This is brand new to me.
This is Oklahoma County.
Yeah, I know, this is different.
I move approval of the consent docket. That's what you're looking for?
No, it's already been done. We need a second.
I move approval.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
But there are the hurdles.
Okay. Go ahead.
Stop, I can't find anything. I'm sorry, I don't know where I am on this agenda on this computer.
I got it all right here.
We're on item 25.
Where
It's
am I?
just the monthly financial report.
Yeah, I know, I wanna see it. I can't see it here. There we are.
Dum, 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 dum. Are you there, Larry?
Almost.
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint.
Good morning, everybody.
What page?
Everybody on the same page?
Maybe, tell us which page.
The PowerPoint first page.
Okay.
The general fund budget. Our reserve is 3,181,783. We have an item on the agenda today to move $240,000 from reserve to the election board for the special election in February. Let's see, the general fund comparison to last year, page 5 on the report. We're good on track. The property taxes we have collected at this time of the year, 26% more than last year at the same time. The interest is a lot higher than last year because it's the ARPA interest. The temporary cash transfers will be, or they have been returned to the funds in January, so that will be on next month's report. Let me see. The next one will be the employee benefits status, page 11 on the report. We're still predicting to have like 906,000 in ending fund balance. We're keeping good track of this fund. We have $6.5 million set aside for COVID claims in case they happen. We can reimburse in this fund. We get a rebate in a couple of months for $1 million still as well. So we're keeping a close eye on this fund. The weekly claims comparison, this is as of January 17th compared to last year. We're about 1.5% on the good side, so that looks good for the rest of the year. With the ARPA reimbursements and the rebates, the claims are up a little bit compared to last year, but with the offset, we should be in good shape. And then the last page is going to be your capital. We're having 95,000 in unallocated funds. And on this agenda, there's also still a transfer of 60,000 into the capital projects as needed. That was approved on the original budget in June. So you'll see that on this agenda as well. And that's all I have. If there's any questions or. Yes.
What shape would we be in if we didn't have the ARPA funds?
Well, that would be a good question. John might have more explanation of that in the next item.
Micah, thank you very much. That was an excellent presentation. Incidentally, your predecessor was never that good. So, in all seriousness, I do want to, as you mentioned, all funds have been repaid on the borrowing. I'd like to thank all of my fellow county officers for that. As you well recall, we got permission to do that a number of years ago. And the year before is when we had to go out and literally borrow money and pay interest. And so this way, by borrowing money from ourselves, then it makes it so much smoother. So thank you greatly. I do not recall a single incident where Christy didn't go out and ask, you know, you've got this money, can we borrow it? Because of the cash shortage. Remember, this is all cash shortage. And in every instance, you were right there. So thank you very much for your cooperation, except for Larry.
And we note that Christie asked, not Butch. The answer could have been different. So.
Motion to receive report.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Potter. Cody?
Good morning. Not a whole lot to report this month. We do have one agenda item today that is a recommendation from BET. It's item 28. That also reflects the only difference on the BET watch list this month from last month. You'll see a recommendation for part of the amount reserved on there for the election board. That's the only change to the watch list this month. And I can get a little more into detail on the election board item when we get to item 28.
Okay. Is there a motion to receive his report?
So.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good morning. As Micah said, we're doing pretty well on our claims. We're about 1.5% under net where we were last fiscal year. About this time last fiscal year, we received about $1 million extra from ARPA and stop loss. So that's money we really don't have this year. We're running into a timing issue with paying claims. So we allocated deposits early this month on the agenda of the budget board, so they'll be available to use because we're holding some claims. So next week we'll need a special VOCC meeting to pay those claims from the money allocated today. And we'll probably need to do that for a couple months until we receive our large prescription rebate check in March. We'll receive about $1 million in March, and that should kind of catch us up on timing because deposits are made, then they're allocated, and they have to go to another board meeting. So we might need a couple special meetings just to catch up on the payments until we get there.
Is there a motion to receive his report?
Are you able to answer Larry's question?
Sure, Larry. If we did not receive the ARPA, we'd be about $1.7 million in the hole compared to where we are now. So those funds were greatly needed to pay those COVID claims.
Motion to receive report.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cody?
All right, as you were all aware, coming up in February, there is a special election for the county clerk vacancy. When we had our meetings regarding September supplement, this was an item that we were tracking. We put $480,000 on the watch list to cover the potential expense of a February primary and then a April general election amount. After that time, the governor called a special election for March. So we actually have 3 elections that we're going to either have to fund or partly fund. In discussions with the election board.
Excuse me, is the March the marijuana?
Yes. Yeah. In discussions with the election board, they're fairly certain that the $240,000 will cover the February and the March elections, so we should be good there. We do still have on the watch list $240,000 for the April election. Once they get through the February election, they'll have a better idea of what that expense was, and we can kind of hone that whenever we come back and probably have a recommendation on a transfer in March for that April election.
Transfer out of reserve.
Out of reserve, yes, sir. And that's what this item is a transfer out of reserve of $240,000 to go to the election board to help fund the expense of the February special election.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And either one of you fellas want to talk to us about the next one?
Good morning. It's a couple of transfers from salary, one into M&O for $100K, one into capital for 40. Just keeps us under the 90%.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 30. This is to pay the county ARPA reimbursements that were approved by the BOCC. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner, I'd move approval actually on item 31 and 32. 30, 31, and 32 is just moving within the ARPA. And it's not an addition of any money or outside or anything else.
I have a comment. To be more transparent, I think for the public, we all know what this money's going for, but to be transparent so that people don't have to go back and listen to it, we probably should put some brief description of what it is rather than just the number. I think I brought that up once before. We understand 14, 15, and things like that, but the public probably wouldn't. So it'd be easy if we had some little note on there that it's going to the sheriff's office, or it's going for reconstruction or whatever it's going for, just for
It's already
transparency.
there,
It's
but
already
it's
there.
already there.
If you click your agenda on the
Yeah.
items that are attached, there's actually a resolution, and it's all described within that.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I say there's no additional money involved in this. It's just an accounting procedure.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve 31 and 32. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Wait, it's in this attachment? Is that what you were saying? This thing is hard to do. Okay.
I feel your pain.
Yeah. Okay. So it has the item number.
31, 32.
Yeah. I don't think there's a description in the attachment of what the project is, though.
Takes a little time to populate.
So it gives the ARPA project 10117 that was approved by the BOCC.
But does it say what 10117 is?
It doesn't.
And to the public, to be transparent,
Right.
it needs to say that.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, I'm all for the transparency,
Okay.
but if you'll. Give me a second to get back this.
So like 31 and 32 is for the sheriff's, this is for training involved in your community violence intervention program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then item 32 was regarding the camera system in the courthouse. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember 31's also involved in this same thing. I'm sorry, 30.
30 and 30. And 30 is for salaries. But just, it could be with a little short
Yeah.
sentence, it could be a little clearer, and so if they have this, they'll know what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
It's good for our bosses to see it.
Okay, have you caught up with the votes? Okay. All right, item 33. This is the $60,000. This was not included in the previous motion. You did 31 and 32, right, Butch?
I did 31 and 32, that's
Okay.
correct.
Are you wanting to do 33?
This is not ARPA. That's what made 30, 31, and 32, but I will move 33.
I know, I was just giving you a chance. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. A chance to succeed or fail.
Hopefully succeed.
Well, thank you.
This is the general fund to workers' compensation fund, not to exceed 375,000.
Motion to approve transfer.
This is
Second.
included in the budget.
Yes.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is the court clerk. You want to talk about this, Mr. Warren?
Yes, this is the money, let's see, fund, workers' compensation fund. It's just a transfer for our workers' comp, is all it is.
I think we're on 35.
Item 35, your ARPA. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes, we're doing a complete remodel for the safety of our employees to fight the any disease. That we work so close together, so what they're doing is giving us a little more space and also give us the ability to spread our people out 6 foot. And it's going to be pretty much a complete remodel.
So this is just creating the fund line.
Strictly accounting and creating the
Okay.
funds.
Okay.
Transfer the money.
Ms. Potter?
This is just to create the sub-departments. We had done all the other 8 before, and these were the 2 that came in later, so.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is to name Jessica Clayton as the alternate on the BET. I'll move this item.
Second.
Just seeing if she paid attention.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is also to name Jessica Clayton as the member to the handbook committee, and I'll move this item.
And I am happy to object to this one, Jessica. You really do not want
You
to be on this
don't.
committee.
They don't meet that often.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chairman, this is very similar to yours. This is naming my Chief Deputy Don Cash as the alternate to the Budget Board, and I'll happily make that vote.
And I got a question before the vote on this. I think that's already by operation of law.
I think you're probably right. I know that they did that on BOCC as well, but we can strike it.
Yeah, I'd kind of like, the only reason I did, because I don't think this is a precedent that we need to establish. The
For your
law
deal.
speaks to that already.
Not for your deal, so I'll withdraw my motion, make a motion to strike.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
39 is to appoint Dawn to the BET and the Oklahoma County Handbook Committee, with Chelsea being the alternate for District 3.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any citizens to be heard? Seeing none. Any board comments, Under Sheriff?
No comment.
No comment.
Have a nice day.
I've sent around, the biggest questions we get are how can you reduce your property taxes and how can I protect my deed from being fraudulently taken? We created these documents in cooperation with the clerk's office so we can get the word out. And if you can use this as a way to get help so they can do that, there's great programs available, and the income level for the senior assessment freeze went up 16.53% this year, so more people can be eligible for that tax saving.
I do have a question. On the bottom, it says, please only as the last resort call, and then gives your phone number. You don't want calls?
That's not my language, that's the Oklahoma County Clerk's Office. You can call us anytime, Butch.
I wanted to also say thank you to Greg Williams and William Mundy. This is Greg Williams' last day to serve as our jail administrator. And they navigated us through some tough times, and they're off to the new chapter of their life. I wish them well, and I thank them for their service. Okay. Is there any new business? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ricky boy.
Thank you for saving me.
You wanna have lunch?
No, I've got lunch with my son. I'm taking Chick-fil-A to. Oh, yeah.